Hope y'all are doing good. It's early, and it's actually super early, actually. I got work in 2 hours, 8. Lucy used the bathroom. But we're gonna start changing one of the things that needed to be changed. This spoiler, which came with the car originally, it's like fake carbon fiber, and the other side is completely out. So we're going to be sanding it and priming it so we can make it black, because it's fake carbon fiber. I don't like it. Lucy blends in with the surroundings now. She literally looks like the ground when it comes with the fall weather and stuff. Enough yapping though. Let's get this sander. Let's get this sanded down, and let's change that spoiler. The extender is plugged just into itself. It's very early. Very, very early.
A few moments later.
You should definitely be wearing a mask if you're gonna do this. I just don't have a mask on me. And now that we cut a hole in there, we can go ahead and peel off all the old 3M tape that's on this.
A few minutes later.
This shouldn't be taking... This is probably the most annoying part. As you all saw, sanding took me like 5 minutes. Painting's not gonna be hard. Like, I've painted my car twice before. Painting isn't hard. It's really the prep that takes the longest to make sure it comes out looking right. And also this taking off this 3M is a pain in the ass, but as long as you do prep, the paint will come out okay, which means we're gonna have to sand this down and then wipe it with some alcohol for some 3M tape. But I'm gonna keep taking all this off. I'm not gonna have y'all sit here and watch me sit here and peel. This is probably gonna take like 30-40 minutes maybe. So I'm gonna get to peeling. All right, it's all peeled off. Now we're gonna go ahead and sand the inside of this down. And what I'm gonna do is, because it sits like this on the car, I'm gonna paint the bottom side first, because because the overspray will go on the other side, and then I can sand that side down and then spray that. So we're gonna do this side first with the primer, and then this side. First, we're gonna sand this inside though. Now it's time for the last step, and pretty much the quickest step when it comes to painting. This one usually doesn't take too long, and that's going to be the actual spraying. Now, obviously, most of what I was talking about was prep, and most of what you've seen is prep, and that's because that's the most important step when it actually comes to doing paint work. Now what you see me doing is actually preparing the paint itself. That's just going to be shaking it to make sure that the paint inside is all well mixed, and then also doing some light test sprays on the side to make sure it's coming out even and there's nothing blocking the paint itself. Now with everything prepped and prepared, it's going to be easy to go ahead and get this thing painted. What we're going to be doing is applying 3 coats. The first coat's going to be a nice light coat. Honestly, you don't even want this one to completely cover it, all the visible parts of the object you're painting, in this case the wing. The second coat's going to be a much thicker coat, and this one you do want to be covering everything. You want it to be visibly what you would like to see on the outside when it comes to painting. And then the third coat's just a light coat. That's going to be cleaning up and making sure everything's even, and that's why we do 3 coats. Simple as that. Now this 3-coat system works pretty well, and it's what I've used for most of my smaller projects. When it comes to like larger things, obviously I like to use a lot more layers just to like fine tune and make sure everything's a lot more even. But for something like this, 3 layers is perfect, and it makes sure you're not wasting a lot of paint. We're going to be doing this 3-layer method for both the primer, which is what you're seeing now. I'm not sanding the primer. This is a sandable primer. For the base coat, which is just the black, which you've seen in the intro. And then also for the clear coat, I personally like to use clear coat. I think it makes what you're painting stand out a lot more, and it also protects it, especially when it comes to pieces that are on cars, which are going to be weathered and facing storms, UV rays, the objects that are on the road, everything like that. I like to add that gloss coat. I think it makes it glossy, it stands out a lot more, and then also protects it. That way you can ensure that what you're working on isn't going to be destroyed in a year or two from the sun and just from the elements. Now, I'm not gonna lie, you all already saw the first portion of this with the primer. It's literally the exact same thing to do the paint and the clear coat, so I'm not gonna bore you with that. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it and show you the final product now. What's going on, chat? Y'all know we had to stop. Hey, we got a packed car.